Hello and welcome to our Monday live community chat or rebroadcast. We're in and wherever it is you guys decide to jump in with us. Today is Monday, so we will be talking about something that has to do with the mindset shift that a lot of us need to start thinking about as we're going through this aging process. So if you're new, welcome. I appreciate you guys joining us. Please take a second if you're joining us on Facebook to make sure that you hit that like button and that you have also set yourself up to receive notifications from us. And then if you're joining us on YouTube, I also ask that you take a second to hit that subscribe button and also tap on that little bell notification. That way, when I schedule a broadcast or upload something, you will be able to join us as well. So this is your time. This is the time that we come together as a community for you to ask me questions, and I will do my best to answer them. I do like to make sure that we keep our questions relative to the subject matter that we are discussing today. So if you don't mind doing that, I appreciate that as well. And this is also your time to get a little shout out from our community. So if you are a graduate of our Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course, or you're a participant in our Midlife Mindset Shift course, I always love to hear from you guys in the comment section. So make sure you do that. And then at the end of my little discussion, I always go through and make sure that I acknowledge everyone who has taken the time to leave us a comment. And I do that in my rebroadcast as well, so you don't have to catch us live for that. So today we're going to talk about actively participating in creating change for ourselves. And this does have to do with us coming together here to listen to lessons. And what is it that we say we want to have for our lives? And are we busying ourselves with watching other people do it, or continuously researching and listening to information and taking in one piece of information from maybe one person and then conflicting information from another person, and then finding ourselves so confused about what we need to do that we don't even start? So what I want to talk to you about today is taking a chance on you. Taking a chance on you that you have what it takes to get it done. That you have what it takes to create the change that you want to have in your life, or maybe for yourself personally, but you have to step up to the plate and actually jump into the game. And you have to create the action items that are necessary for change to happen. Because remember, change is not passive, right? Change is an action. You have to actually incorporate things into your life in order for things to be different than they are. And I think because there's so much information available to us, and because there is this opportunity to just sit in front of people and get advice and advice and advice and advice and advice, that we almost become paralyzed in our research and we don't ever implement. So I know that this happens a lot here in this community because I hear it from so many women who take literally years before they make the decision to jump into the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course, or my graduates who take months before they jump into our Midlife Mindset Shift course. And they're watching and they're needing to find some piece of proof or something that's going to convince them that they're worth it to invest in themselves and jump in. And what ends up happening is we just waste time, right? Because if you decide to do something and you make that conscious decision to invest in time or invest in resources, and you actually practice what is being taught in whatever it is that you jump into, then one of two things are going to happen. You're either going to get the results that you were hoping for because you were actively participating and you were creating the change, or you're going to, two, prove to yourself that you can jump off that little bandwagon because it didn't work for you. But doing nothing is going to hold you in that energy suck of wondering if it's worth it, or wondering if you're worth it, or living your life in the series of regrets or should have, would have, could haves, when you can easily just make the decision to jump in. And I'm saying this today, and I want to talk about this actively participating in creating change for ourselves, because we do have our Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course starting on Saturday. And I know a lot of women are still watching and are still questioning whether this will work for them. And the one thing that I can tell you from my own personal experience is that I didn't start seeing changes for myself with intermittent fasting, or even the things that I was doing in my nutritional life, like the choices that I was making to feed and nourish my own body, until I actively started paying attention, until I actively started putting into place in my own routine the things that I was researching. And life is busy, and we get distracted and we get thrown off track. And oftentimes, if we don't have a schedule carved out for ourselves, or a plan of action, or maybe some goals set for ourselves and how it is we are going to participate in these activities, then things happen, right? We get this distraction over here and this distraction over here, and then this person over here needs you. So then you fail to make the commitment for yourself. So for those women, and I'm speaking to my women who have been watching for several months, possibly even years, I think this is your time. This is your time to jump into something and give yourself 3 weeks of going all in and actively participate in creating a change for yourself. I can't promise to any woman what it is they're going to get as a result of being a student in my course. But the one thing that I can promise you is that being in the course, you will learn how your body chemistry is working as an aging woman. You will learn how to listen to the signs and the signals that your body is sending you when you're doing things that aren't working for you anymore. And that in and of itself is becoming an active participant in your own life. When it happens that you are not happy with, how many more times are you going to let that unhappiness happen as the result of you making that choice? And we don't really understand how that process works for us and how beautifully our body is speaking to us, letting us know things aren't working, until we are participating in that change for ourselves. And we're doing it in a very active manner, active mentally, active emotionally, and active physically, so that we can listen and we can make very sound emotional decisions about what it is that we say we want for ourselves. So for a lot of us, we need to just get off the bench. We need to jump into the game. We need to come in with both feet planted firmly, that you are going to take these actions very seriously until you have either eliminated the doubt in your mind about whether something is or isn't going to work for you, or you have reached a point where you are able to obtain the success that you wanted, or maybe some of the results that you were hoping for, because you have been watching and you've seen other people do it as well. The one thing I can say about actively participating in creating change for yourself when it comes to your health and overall well-being is that you will create something positive, right? If you participate in doing positive things for yourself and creating positive change, you will get a positive end result. That's just how life works. So if you're in search of, or maybe in need of, a positive in your life, the best advice I can give you is actively participate in creating positive change for yourself. And I promise you the end result will be something positive will happen. So get off the fence, end the research game, jump in and live this lifestyle for yourself. The research is there. We already know that because we've read it. The advice is there. We already know because we have seen and heard it. So now all we have to do is prove to ourselves that we are worth it, and prove to ourselves that if we actively participate, then we might end up being part of those results that other people are reading about or seeing, and then we can pay it forward by proving that something that you do positively and actively can actually create some great change for ourselves. So hopefully that will give you some things to think about this week. I do believe that nothing good happens on the sidelines, and everything good happens when you jump into the game. So just give yourself the gift of putting what it is you know to practice and see what kind of results you might be able to get for yourself. If you haven't already done so, please leave me a comment in the comment section. Make sure you hit that like button or the thumbs up button wherever it is you're watching this from. That does allow other women the opportunity to have access to this content, because it proves to wherever it is we're broadcasting from that this is information that other women are also finding valuable as well. So if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button or that subscribe button and that thumbs up button, I always appreciate it, because this also helps me reach reach out and help other women as well. So I'm going to go ahead and answer some questions or comments. Remember, we do have an intermittent fasting for today's Aging Women course starting on September 5th. All of the information is found in the description box or in the comment section below. And then at the end of me answering questions and comments, if you guys want to still stick around, I'm going to share with you what happened to me on my run this morning. If you caught my IG live on Instagram, I shared a little bit of what happened this morning as well. But stay to the end and I will let you know what I experienced this morning on my run. Glamma, it is great to have you with us, girlfriend. Janet, hello, girlfriend from Nevada. Always awesome to have you jump in with us. Yvonne, I'm from Smoky, San Francisco Bay, graduate from previous IF courses. Girlfriend, is it still burning up in the San Francisco Bay Area? I have not been on the news much lately for probably very obvious reasons, but I hope you're doing well and I hope you guys are safe. We're thinking about you for sure. Glamma, I've severely fallen off the horse and gained back 40 pounds. Glamma, then you have to make the decision today, because this is what I always say when we make these public affirmations, right? That we have declared that something is going on in our life that we are not happy with, you have to make a different choice. So if you're not happy with falling off the wagon, and if you're not happy with gaining 40 pounds back, because really there's nothing wrong with falling off the wagon, and there's nothing wrong with gaining 40 pounds. But if you're not happy with that, then you have to implement the change that you know is necessary for you to be happy again. That means jumping back on the horse or getting yourself back on the wagon and doing the very simple things that you know with time and consistency will help your body release that 40 pounds happy. So you got to jump back in today. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for next Monday. Don't wait for, the seasons to change. You already made the proclamation that you're not happy. You know why you're not happy. Make a choice to get yourself happy again. Super simple to do, and we're here to support you. If you need to jump back into an active class, the next class starts next Saturday. I would love to have you come back through again with some support with some of your community members. And if you've been in the class within the last year, send me an email. I will get you a link to get in as a current graduate of the course as well. So Glamma, we're here for you. You make the decision, and we're going to be here to support you. And if you need extra help, let me know. Eileen, December 19 grad, good to have you with us. Glamma is calling in from Los Angeles. Diana Michael, great to see you this Monday. Danny, October 2018 grad. Does intermittent fasting ever stop working over time? No, I mean, there's no need for it to stop working. I think what happens with intermittent fasting is that kind of mindset shifts that we lose focus of, and we expect some things that might not be realistic for us with what we're doing and the season of life that we're in. So you have to figure out what you want intermittent fasting to do for you first and foremost. So why are you practicing intermittent fasting? And then you have to figure out what it is you think is not working, and then you have to see if those things go together. So intermittent fasting is something that you actively have to be participating in. You have to understand what happens in your body chemistry during that fasted state. And then you have to make those very informed mental and emotional decisions about what choices you're making in your feasting window. You have to consider whether you're working out or not. Like, so many different things come into play with this lifestyle that we think the fasting part of it stops working. And it's usually the feasting part of it or other lifestyle changes that we're participating in that are inhibiting the fasting from working. So I would look at all of those things and see what you can come up with there, Danny. Janet, we have smoke in Nevada too. Oh, it's crazy. All the things that are going on in the world today. Denise, August 2020 grad. Congratulations, girlfriend. You are still considered one of our newest grads. I'm super happy to have you on with us. Jennifer, September 2019 grad. Good to have you with us, girlfriend. Eileen, took me 8 months to see changes in my rheumatoid arthritis. Yes, because your body is going to decide the priorities in which it needs to heal the most important things first. And time and consistency will always yield you an amazing result with intermittent fasting. So arthritis is one of those autoimmune type disorders that are very deeply rooted in our body chemistry, and it takes a long time to get those to undo themselves. So good for you for sticking with it until you actually were able to see the benefits for you with what it is that you determined as your why for intermittent fasting. So making sure you understand your why for participating in anything in your life, that's the first important step. Because if we don't know our why, and we are not seeing what we think the results should be, that's when we get discouraged and we start jumping around. And that's really where our body stops trusting us, right? So 3 weeks is a foundational opportunity to understand what's going on in your body chemistry. What you do beyond the 3 weeks in class is going to be determined by your why, right? And if you want a quick fix weight loss, yeah, you'll probably get that in 3 weeks, but will you keep it if you jump onto something new after that? Probably not. So make sure you know your why for sure. August 2020 grad, Lorena, it's good to have you with us. Judy, together we do go far, girlfriend. Yvonne, yes, it's still burning, 15% containment. We are safe. Good. That's the most important thing. We're glad you guys are safe. I know you had like a go bag that you were packing, so that's a scary thing. Heather, January 2020 grad, menopause annoyance is gone. Yeah, for sure, right? And that's just because a lot of the things that we go through in menopause are not how our bodies are designed to go through menopause. And then once we balance some things out, get rid of a lot of those irritants that we've been allowing to kind of infiltrate our body chemistry, for lack of a better way of saying that, then things balance out, and we can, we can see a lot of relief from a lot of things that happen because of menopause. There's still a lot of pesky things that, we can't change, but, that's okay. We're alive and we're healthy, and we got to count our blessings where we count our blessings for sure. Heather, oops, posted before I was done. I started IF in hopes of it helping menopause, and it did. Awesome. Yeah, for sure. And then Brenda, July 2008. Good to have you with us as well. Okay. So this morning, y'all, this is going to be a little bit off topic. I was out for my Monday run, as I do. You guys, if you've been hanging out here with me, you know I'm a runner. I was in my first mile of my run. I was feeling kind of like lazy minded is the best way I can describe it. It was hot. It was really humid. I was kind of running physically lazy. And I hit an uneven section of the sidewalk on the street where I was running. I felt it happen. It was like slow motion. I took the biggest tumble today on my run. It's, let me see what side is it. It's this side. Huge road burn right here on my shoulder. I got 2 big old road burns on my knee. My face is scraped up. So I literally hit my chin, hit my shoulder, hit my knee. My finger right here is super swollen, not broken or anything. I could bend it. It's a little swollen right now. That's all swollen. It took a horrible fall. Here's the good out of all of that. Yes, there is some good to share with you. So yes, I fell. I am clumsy. I have been falling my whole life. So me falling on a run, as awful as it is, it wasn't my first time. It probably won't be my last time. Here's where I feel blessed. I stood up after I kind of looked around to see who in my neighborhood saw me take that hard fall. And I assessed my body, right? I checked my feet, my ankles, nothing was hurt, nothing. I felt no pain. Knees, fine. Despite the fact that I lost a lot of skin off my knee, no bruising, no swollenness, no aches, no pains. Hips, fine. Back, fine. Head, fine. Finger hurt. That was the only thing. My hand broke my fall. I was running with my keys in this hand. So I think I fell really hard to my right side and just road burn all on the side of everything that touched the ground, because I was going, like, I went down, right? So I didn't go flying. I think that might have been better. I just went to a complete stop and went down. So what did I do? Well, I wasn't hurt. All of my running parts were still working. All my joints were working. I felt zero pain in any part of my body. So I continued to run, right? Because what else was I going to do? I was a mile away from my home. So I ended up running about 3.5 miles, I think, with missing the skin. And I ran like this so my blood wouldn't pull on my finger. And what I want to share with you guys today is a little mindset work, right? I didn't die, fortunately. I didn't even really hurt myself. And so I just said in my mind, if I get up from this little incident today and I keep running, what am I going to train my brain to do, right? I could have easily gone home. I have a cellular service on my watch. I could have called Michael and said, hey, come get me. I took a fall. But I decided to keep running, because I want to train myself that when things get hard, or when I fall down literally or figuratively, or things kind of go off track for where I want to go, how am I going to respond and react to that situation? So my advice, if you fall figuratively or literally, if you find that you are kind of thrown off track because life trips you up, or something that you had on your schedule or you had planned gets derailed a little bit, what are you training yourself to do? So here is what I recommend, and this is what I've always done all the times that I followed, is get up and just get yourself together, right? The second thing you want to do is assess the damage, right? So is anything broken? Are you hurt? What is still in your circle of influence or your control that will decide your next action? The third thing is determine where you want to go from that point, right? Do you want to call for help? Do you want to pack it in? Or can you, in some situations like I did today, I just kind of sucked it up and went, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? I'm going to bleed down my leg, or my finger's going to be a little bit swollen when I'm done. I did one like this to kind of keep the blood flow down. And I'm going to prove to myself that I'm tough, right? That I can do hard things, that I can pick myself up in the event that something bad happens that might not be in my control. And it makes me feel stronger. Now, can I do that every single time? I don't know, maybe not. If I would have sprained my ankle, or would have blown my knee out, or thrown my back out or something, or was laid out and had to call for help, that would have been a completely different situation. But that wasn't the situation today. So I sucked it up, I got up, and I continued my run, and I got home and I showered, and I'm off. I'll bend a couple of days and I'll be fine. So use every opportunity you can when you fall down, when you get derailed, when you feel like you jumped off the wagon or you've jumped off the horse. What do you need to do to get yourself back on? And it's just a series of events of training your brain to think a different way. And you just go back to whatever it was once you get the obstacles out of the way and the barriers out of the way, and you made that assessment that you actually can continue on the journey that you want to be on. You continue on that journey and you let those obstacles just go to the wayside, and you just deal with whatever you have to deal with at the time. So I will be slowed down a little bit. I feel a little bit off today just because everything I do with my hands hurts. I have to slow down a little bit because I do have these sores. My shoulder's fine, my knee's fine, all that kind of stuff. But I'm just going to be slowed down, a little distracted, and probably emotionally and mentally just worn out for the next couple of days. But I'm going to be fine. And that's how we practice doing hard things. And that's how we practice getting ourselves back up if we fall down. Like I said, figuratively or literally. And the next tough thing that I have to face in my life, I will lean into this experience and know that I've done harder things and that I will be okay. And I hope that that serves as a little lesson for all of you guys today as well. I am totally fine. I will probably be running before the end of the week. I'm going to rest tomorrow, probably rest Wednesday, and then I will be getting back to what I usually do. I will just be doing it a little bit slower and a little more mindful. So today's mistake was I was mentally lazy, right? And I took my mind off the game and off the task at hand, and I tripped. And I bet you if I was in a different state of mind, I was paying attention, or maybe not letting the heaviness of the day and the weather get to me, it would have been a different situation as well. So we always got to make sure we're focused as well. Let's see. Anything else? Anything else? So sorry about your tumble. Oh, thanks so much, Danny. I'll be fine. I have scars on this side of my body. I don't know if you guys can see them or not. I have a scar at the same place here and on the same knee as well from when Logan and I took a tumble at Atlantis in the Bahamas. So, you know, I'll just be matching now. Left side, right side, not a big deal. Yvonne, oh, glad you're okay. Your fitness level kept you going, strong enough to pick yourself up. Yay. Yes. And that's what I always say, right? I stay physically active so that in the event that I fall down, I want to be able to pick myself back up. And so, yes, I was able to get myself up today, and I will heal very quickly because my body is not battling any sort of higher priority things that it has to work on for healing. So my goal is to be healed very quickly. And that always seems to be how it works when I take a tumble or fall. So my skin will be healed. I'll be fine. I'll have a little scar. That's okay. And I will be fine. So thank you so much for your concern. And yes, that's why we stay healthy. And that's why we do our physical activity, because we want to make sure that we can pick ourselves up in the fact that we do fall down. Yikes. Hope your body feels better after that tumble. Yeah, I'll be fine for sure. Yvonette, so glad you're okay. Yeah, I'm fine. I can even imagine the show I put on for the neighborhood today, because I was running down the main road of the entrance to our neighborhood. And our neighborhood is very active outside. So a bunch of people were riding their bikes. A bunch of people were walking. A bunch of people were driving, to and from places because it was a heavy work time. So if, worst case scenario is a little bit of entertainment and probably a good laugh to people. I was up pretty quick. So hopefully no one who saw me worried, because I was down and then I was up, because you know how it is when you fall and you're embarrassed. You just want to make sure that you're not a spectacle for too many people. So I'm all good. I will heal. I'll keep you guys posted as the week goes on. But with that, I will let you guys go. I will see you guys back here on Wednesday. Remember, actively participate in creating change in your life. And for those of you who've been hanging out with us for a long time, this is your time. Jump in with us for our September 5th Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course. I would love to have you in class, and it would be an honor for me to call you a graduate in just a couple of weeks. I'll see you guys on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you want to catch me live on Instagram, I'm there at 8:15 Monday through Friday, and that's in the morning. Catch you guys later.